Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a spinner related review and we're looking at the TheOneStopFidget button collection. Now what are buttons? Buttons are, or as some call it, caps or shoes. It's the thing that you hold with your fingers for a spinner. Yep. Now some makers actually make specifically just buttons, and this is kind of like an upgrade or an add-on to your spinner collection. It just kind of switch it up. Having different buttons makes the whole spinner like a whole new thing, and they're actually really cool, and I like customizing my stuff, and this is no different. So here we go. We have calling cards. I think one of the old ones. So this is the TheOneStopFidget, led by Ashir Digital. Here we go. I actually like this business card. I think I should make more of this. But lately, you're just gonna get, if you buy from him, you're gonna get the COA, or the card of authenticity. You got this is for this one right here, the Mokome Ripple V2. And I think for every batch, he just makes 10 of them. So I got 1 out of 10. The designer is Ansar Arif from Conceptual Design. He's the guy who makes Rondell. Got one here. Steel and Steel. Can't wait for the other metals from his second wave. Hopefully those will be out soon. There we go. Alright, so from experience, actually I've been supporting TheOneStopFidget. I like what Aster is doing, partnering up with makers. Before, I think it's ZL Spin, and that's with Razang with a couple of his spitters. Then just lately he's just been focusing on buttons. I think at this point, when you have so many spitters, yeah, you kind of just want to have something to customize it with. Yeah, and here we go. So I have probably most of the buttons he has released. I'm not sure if I missed one, but here we go. I think the very first one is the Mokome Ripple, right here. And Mokome is layered metal. Typically on the spinner scene, it's a combination of copper alloys. So we have copper and brass. This is just a 2-layer. Now when he offered this one, it's actually, he flamed them. You get that certain color. You get darker lines, and I think this side I actually polished, so it's a little bit lighter. But you can kind of still see the design there. Really cool. And these are steps, which are quite nice. Then afterwards, he created some of the exotic. Actually, no, I think the second one is this one here. So this is the Mokome Triple. It's actually 3-layered copper alloy, I believe. Or I could be mistaken, but it's 3 alloy. Now there was a problem on this one, and hopefully I'm okay to discuss this. But the problem with this one, when he got this made, you can see how shiny it is. There's actually a protective coating to prevent it from patina. And that actually causes problem because a lot of spinner enthusiasts prefer it to patina over time. But it really depends. Like certain ones, like if it's flame like this or already etched, probably best to have a coating on it afterwards. But if it's unfinished, you don't want the coating because it's gonna be hard to remove that particular protective layer. And actually getting it to this point, this is another one that I got, and I actually etched this using a ferric chloride solution, and I have to really sand this out to get the protective coating off, and before I can do the etching, otherwise it's not going to be affected. So I actually did this like really heavy etched. It was my first time, but I kind of like how it turned out. And not sure if you can see it, but there are 3 layers. You see that the pinkish copper, then you have the yellow brass, then there's like a really silver lining, and I think they call it the what was the term? It's silver nickel, but it's just another copper alloy with nickel, brass, and was it tin? Yeah, but a really nice alloy. So this is like this. When you etch it, you actually see the 3 layers. Otherwise, here it's more like just 2, but it's really subtle, kind of hard to see the silver nickel on it. Yep, it's actually not silver on it, it's a misnomer. But anyways, I just want to share that. Afterwards, he went with Zirc. So this is the 23mm Zirc. And actually, I forgot to mention. Now, in spinners, there are kind of like 2 different retention. Either you go with press fit, kind of like your full throttle. You know, it's basically it's just a bearing there. And you also have the press fit retention system, kind of like here with the Invictus by Damn Designs, where you can remove this using a tool. It's threaded. So the vertical retention is actually taller than your press fit. The Mokome Ripple, you actually see that the extras, we call it the shoulder height, or the extra part there. So this is for vertical press. This one is for vertical press also. But this one, it's actually somewhere in the middle, but more likely a press fit. And even the Zirc here, it's, yep, it's a lot closer. You don't see that extra thing in the middle. Yep. So here's the 23mm Zirc. And Acer flamed this one to a nice black, which is quite popular for zirconium. Then he also has the SSR, or Damasteel stainless steel, and he actually flamed this as well. And these are the ripple style. Anything that is kind of like step like this, really nice. I like it. Because I believe just a simple unflamed one, you just kind of see like slivers of white and gray. It's not that good looking, so having it flame, it makes it a lot better. And lastly, we have the Mokome Ripple V2, which is actually a turple. This is a 3-layered one. This one has been etched as well. It's kind of hard to show in the camera, but there we go. You can kind of see that. Yep. And I typically polish one side. So there we go. Those are the 5 that he has made so far. Unfortunately, they're not available right now, but he's making more. And again, the best way is to check out the Facebook group. He usually announces the drop. He has one of the, like a timestamp when it'll be. So it will be great, you know, to tune in. Now let's try out some swapping out some buttons. Alright, so I got some Proxima here by Fidget HQ. I wish this is Zirc, but this is the coated stainless steel, so it's black, which is really cool. Alright, so why don't we try the Zirc on this? So this is the press fit. No retention, no vertical retention there. Alright, so we'll just remove this. So this one are identical caps with thread there. There we go. And actually, there's always a question. So, what's so special about Zirc? It's the feeling of it. There's just something with the feel. It's kind of silky, and then it's actually really. It's also a tough metal. Although it is flame, so you can actually scuff off the edges, but it's, yeah, very durable metal. So there we go, the Proxima with the Zirc. Now let's try this one. Let's go with, here we go. This is the Invader drone, made by John Adrian of MPF Design, and I got the one of the Blue Tongue Damasteel. Blue Tongue is the pattern where there's a lot of circular. Very nice, nicely done. And let's go ahead and install this. Now, let's see if this is gonna work. It's probably not gonna work. Okay, it does work. The problem using this buttons here, there's actually an inner lip outward. Actually, up to 22 it'll work on an inverter drone. If you're using a 23, it's not gonna work. So my Zerk is probably not gonna fit here. Although he was offering 22 as well. So there we go. Really nice. I like it. Alright, what else we got here? So let's try the... I think we'll go with this one here. Try the Invictus, since that one's a vertical retention. So let's try this one here. Right, there we go. Now typically for anything that's Mokumi, I try to pair with something that's copper, but with stainless steel it's not too bad either. There we go. Quite nice. Yeah, you can kind of hear it. It's kind of maybe this way. There we go. So sometimes if it does scrape, I may have to put some washers. Typically, if I just need a little bit, half a millimeter will work. Otherwise, some makers like the Vinox pen offers the half millimeter even to a millimeter. So that will work. Let's try this one. And actually, I'm gonna try it with this particular one, the etch, heavy etch. All right, that looks awesome. There we go. All right, and why don't we try on the rondelle? Mokumi Ripple V2. Alright, there we go. It actually looks nice. And I really prefer press fit buttons because it's a lot thinner and you don't really see the gap in between the bearing. So this works quite well. Alright, what else should I try? Actually, I want to try the V2 here with Post Blades Cocoon, a very popular spinner. Alright, so let me take off the rondelle. And this is one of the things I enjoy doing. Whenever I get a new button, I gotta try it in different spinners, see what works. There we go. So this is the bronze cocoon, and that is amazing. I like that. Yep, so this is 22 millimeters. It does hide the cutouts in the middle of the cocoon. It works quite well. What else should I try? I think that's it. Oh, I do have this, the copper Zendu Evo by Fidget HQ. Why don't we try putting this one here. It would be nice to have copper buttons too. Alright, so here we go. Quite nice for having it on copper. And it's probably one of my favorite bar spinners. Really great. Now I want to discuss a controversy, and I think it's fair to talk about it here. It has to do with the Portal. Now this is the Portal spinner is made by Emerson Hodgins of Random Fabrication, and this has actually been around, yeah, since the beginning of last year when the spinner craze is just starting. So this has been around. Now the controversy is the design of the buttons, and as you can see, it's very similar in shape and with the steps. Now this is the Portal spinner, and this has been called the Portal buttons, you know, as in the name of the spinner, and it's very similar. And actually a lot of spinners being made now have a lot of similarities with this design, because this is quite amazing buttons. And actually a lot of people have been buying Portal just for the buttons, oddly. Yeah. Although the Portal buttons, I wish it's, well, to be honest, I wish the Portal is still popular, and unfortunately lately it hasn't had the demand as we've seen on it last year. And I'm still hoping that one day there will be a tungsten Portal, but I don't think it's gonna happen anymore. But anyways, there is a similarity, although it's a bit different. Yeah, you can tell that this centerpiece is a lot smaller than this one here, and depending on how many steps there are. But there is similarities, and you know, there's some back and forth, you know, why or who's well, this being copied of this design, all that stuff. But I think lately I guess the community is more receptive of changes. I mean, it is greatly inspired on this design, but I think the community is more accepting as it was last year, where people are like bashing people who makes almost a similar design, not knowing that it's already been made. Actually, on that note, let me get the Invictus here. The Invictus is actually using the same kind of buttons, and interestingly enough, where's the other half of this? Right here. This is called the Portal buttons, because the other buttons for the Invictus is the Deca buttons, which has 10 sides. But this one was at one point criticized for having a similar design as the Portal buttons, having those concentric steps. Yeah, and that's why the Deca buttons was made. But we got both of them, which is great. Adrian de Souza made that choice to have two sets of buttons, which actually made it popular. You know, you're getting two buttons for your damn design spinners. So I really appreciate that. But anyways, I want to put it out. But there are differences, and you can clearly tell. But unfortunately, sometimes that's kind of how it is with certain communities. But anyways, other than that, that's pretty much it for the review. Hope to see more from TheOneStopFidget, and hope to see you know, different exotic metals. I mean, what are others? There could be a Damascus. That'd be great to see, or maybe even tungsten buttons. Anyways, that's about it for this review. Again, TheOneStopFidget by Ashir Digital. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Or is it Azray? It could be Azray. And yeah, I probably mispronounced it. I talk to him online a lot. It's just that, well, you don't address them regularly. You just talk to them casually. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, good stuff. So I'll provide the link down below if you want to check it out. Well, I'll provide both links for the web store as well as the Facebook group. But check out the Facebook group. That's how you get notified for new stuff. And that's about it for this review. Hope you get some insights behind the spinner community. I'm still spinning. It's really fun though. It's more of a metal art for me, and I just enjoy the little nuances here and there, different metals. Yeah, I like it. It's gorgeous. Anyways, that's about it. If you got questions, let me know. So until then, this is Meads. Thanks for watching.